Legitimacy is people that believe that the government has a right to rule. Um, it's elected fairly and adults follow rules willingly because whatever. Um, Example would be like the president being elected and it seemed fair, but what isn't fair is like a dictator taking taking power by force. And yeah, popular sovereignty is that means that power comes from the people. In democracy, citizens vote and have a say so in their government. Turning 18, blah blah blah. They could have their own control by voting and participating in elections and stuff. Social contract is an agreement between the people and the government. People give up freedoms like following traffic laws in exchange for protecting an order. It's like agreeing for school rules so everyone feels safe and like happy. John Locke was a popular philosopher who believes in natural rights such as life, liberty, and property. His ideas influenced the Declaration of Independence in the Constitution, shaping the idea that the government should protect natural rights. Natural rights are freedoms that everyone has just by being human, just like the right for freedom and these rights cannot be taken away, and they're the foundation of the democracy. The Confederation is when the states have more power than the national government. In the U.S., they first tried the system under the Articles of Confederation, but it didn't work because the government was too weak. The national government was too weak. The Articles of Confederation was the first plan for the U.S. government after they gained independence from Britain. It gave most of the power to the states, which made it hard to pass laws or collect taxes because of how hard it was. It was replaced by the Constitution in 1787. You hear me? Yeah. Okay. The Great Compromise is a deal made during the Constitution Convention that created two houses in Congress. One based on population, which is the House of Representatives, and one with equal representative for each state, which is the Senate. They're both whatever. The 3/5 compromise is where 3 of every 5 enslaved people were counted towards the state population. This affected how taxes were assigned. Federalism is a system where power is divided between nation and state governments. For example, the federal controls the military while states had things like driver license and schools. Unitary government is a government where all power is held by the national government. The United Kingdom is an example. They make the decisions without giving power to local governments. A federalist is they support the Constitution and strong national government. They believe strong central government was necessary to keep the country united. Anti-federalist would be someone like Thomas Jefferson, who opposed a strong government because they thought it would take away people's natural rights and citizenship. And freedom, they pushed for the Bill of Rights to protect citizens instead. Factions are smaller groups that focus on smaller issues that they prioritize stuff. The Bill of Rights are the first 10 amendments to the Constitution that protect the First Amendment and the right to a fair trial. These limit the power of the government. Enumerated powers are powers that are directly written in the Constitution for the federal government, like printing money, declaring war, blah blah blah. Implied powers are powers that aren't stated in the Constitution but are necessary to function. Delegated powers are powers given to different branches in the federal agencies. Like, for example, Congress makes laws, the president enforces them, and the FBI handles national security. Concurrent powers are powers that federal and state government share. Like collecting taxes, building roads. Judicial review is the power of the courts that decide if a law or government action follows the Constitution. If it's unconstitutional, then the courts can't strike it down. No, they can strike it down. Mayberry v. Madison is a case in 1803 that established judicial review. This gave power to the courts. to decide whether it was constitutional or not. A separation of powers is the government divided into three branches: legislative, which makes laws; executive, enforces laws; and judicial, which interprets laws. And it stops from being too powerful. Checks and balances, that's like money, that is limited, blah, blah, blah. I don't really understand that one, so you're cooked if you don't remember it. Constituency is the group of voters that elected official representatives, like a mayor. Formal amendment is the official change to the Constitution, like 27 amendments that have been added over time. Informal is how the government operates but isn't written, but it becomes accepted. McCulloch versus Maryland is a course that confirmed the government's national authority over the states. It supported the idea of implied powers. And yeah, states' rights is the idea that governments had separate powers from the federal government. States set their own school policies and marriage laws. Dual federalism is where the national state and state governments operate independently in their own area of power. This is when the states have more control. Cooperative federalism is a system when the national government and state government work together on issues like education and healthcare. This is how the government runs today, with cooperative federalism. Good luck.